amazing. Look how beautiful that is. This food right here used to be, we used to get bullied for this food in Grenada growing up as a boy. They used to say that's poor people food. Now, when people travel and they go back to Grenada, they crave for this food. They crave for this food. I'm craving for it right now. Delicious. Cicola. So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to cook something. Remember when you were growing up as a little boy or a little girl, certain food in Grenada is called poor food, poor people food. And when you go to school with your lunch, you gotta hide and eat your lunch. And today when people travel and goes back to Grenada, some of these very same food some of them crave for. So one of the food is banana and saltfish sauce. So that's what we're gonna whip up today, banana and saltfish sauce. So some of the same food that you've been calling as a kid growing up, poor people made fun of you and bully you and say it is poor food. Some of the same food that they crave for when they travel, when they come abroad, so when they go back home. So let's go. Banana or fig and saltfish sauce. Let's do it, guys. So here I have my saltfish already soaked. So for those of you, so I have two different kinds of saltfish. So I have the bony one and I have the boneless one. So it's already nice and soaked in cold water to kind of release some of the salt. And that has been soaking for about an hour. So now I'm going to put it on the stove, let it boil it for a couple times to get rid of the salt. Put my saltfish in there, let it boil out for the first boil. So usually I give it about 3 boils for about an hour and a half an hour per boil. Boil it first time, then throw the water, add fresh water, boil it again, then do that. So I do that about 3 times in about an hour and a half time to make sure that it's not too salty. So for your saltfish, when you're making saltfish, it usually smells up the house. So there is a trick that could eliminate the scent of the saltfish. So that trick is very simple, as putting a little piece of a cinnamon stick in the saltfish. So your saltfish don't smell, you put a little bit of cinnamon stick in that saltfish, let it boil. So, because you know saltfish stinks up the house, and you have a very strong odor of fish in the house. So you drop a little bit of cinnamon stick in there, and when the cinnamon, while they're both boiling together, so regarding my banana, I like to cut my banana like this. Cut the 2 ends out, then split it down the middle and drop it in a bowl of water. And that helps remove the stain into the water, and that way the skin will kind of let go a little bit from the really good trick to make your banana. Some people, they do not like to peel the banana because they don't like the stain. And growing up as a boy, when people see that, they say this person's touche and hitey tighty, and they don't want stain. They don't want to smell up their hand. They don't want stain touch their hand. Some people put oil on the hand, cooking oil on the hands to avoid the stains. So I'm gonna throw the water now to have the first boil. See, now I had that first boil. So I'm gonna throw that first water. Throw it out. When I throw that, I'm gonna wash out. Just wash out the pot. It's the salt, that little white stuff you see in the pot can be salt. And you can see here how it's all foam up. That's all the salt. So I'm gonna wash that out. Get that all washed out. And I'm gonna put it back. So we'll do that about 2 more times, and that should get rid of the salt. So some people do it for half an hour, some people do it for 45 minutes, boil it for 5 minutes, some people do it for an hour. It all depends on how much salt you can tolerate and how much salt that you want in it. So I have some callaloo here. I'm also gonna put in my saltfish. So in Grenada, you can put mix your saltfish with different stuff. You can mix it with vegetables, tomatoes, and onions and stuff. And you can also mix it with carrots, cabbage. There's a lot of things you can mix it with. And you can also mix it with, also put your okra in there. Also put your okra in there. So me today, get the pot on the stove, get it all ready for the callaloo. So when I put in my callaloo, I put a little bit of oil in there in my pot, and I let that heat up a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic, about 2 cloves of garlic in there, 2 cubes of garlic, not clove. Let that burn a little bit, kind of give it a nice kind of a flavor. Like I said, this is just for the callaloo. This one is just for the callaloo. And when that start boiling, I'll put my callaloo in there. Oh, I know y'all smell that. For those of you who've done this before, you already know what it smells like. For those of you who have done this before, you can already tell me you know what that smells like. Right. Add a little water to that. So callaloo does make its own water, so you don't want to be putting too much water in there, especially if you already use the callaloo, the stem, what I told you, like these stems. If you already use these stems, they already make their own water in there, so be very mindful of that. For me, I didn't use much of the stem, so I'm gonna let that stir, and I'm gonna season it up a little bit. Also put a little bit of coconut in there. Let that flavor up. Just some Maggi in there. That's my flavor, Maggi, and a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. You don't want to put too much of salt in there because remember the saltfish is already salty. So we don't want to put anything too much salty in there. Just a little dash and grab. Give that a good old stir. Let everything get seasoned up. And you want to make sure that your coconut is at the bottom so it can melt out. Cover it up. It goes callaloo. Stifle it up. Cover it up. It's coming good already, guys. Look at that color. Beautiful, nice green color. Sea cola. Looking good. Right. That smells like oil dung, guys. For those of you who knows what oil dung is, mixing coconut with callaloo. All right, so now our saltfish. It should be good. The salt, we already boiled it out to get rid of the salt. Now is the other issue is getting the bones out. Because like I said, I have the both type in there. I have the boneless and also the one with the bone. So I like to squeeze it like so. Squeeze it out, squeeze out that extra little bit of salt from it, and put it in here, and really get it really nice and fine. Some people like to just strip it like this and leave it in there nice and chunky, but I like to have it in there not too chunky. So like again, I always like squeezing out that extra salt, like you know when you squeeze coconut. So I like to squeeze it, do like this and squeeze it out. And again, I do not like leaving my saltfish nice, not saltfish chunky like some people. I like to make sure that is not chunky. Just so I'll do it like this. After I squeeze out the water like so, I will continue doing that, mashing them up with my hands like this. And I do not like the saltfish in there, how some people would just break it and let it chunky. So after I get it all fine, crushed up like this, as you can see, there is a lot more than when you just have it in there chunky. You know, you can see that a lot way more. So if you want your saltfish to yield, this is how you get your saltfish to yield, by I'm gonna get all of this set it up. This is gonna go in a saltfish. Put this in the pot with a little bit of oil. There's it up. Nice and small. Just gonna go in the pot with the saltfish. This is gonna go. So our callaloo is looking really nice, looking good. Of course, we have our fig and dumpling over there and yam. So looking nice. Just the color of it. So beautiful. Look at that beautiful color. Sea cola. All right. So now that my callaloo is cooked, I'm gonna get my saltfish in there. Oh, that's saltfish in there. I want to put a little bit of oil on top of that. I'm gonna give it a good old stir. Good old stir. I'm gonna get that mixture of the Grenadian color, the yellow and the green and the red. Sea color. Sea color. Looking really good, guys. Look good. Smell good. All right, let's see how that turned out, guys. I have my dumplings there. I'm gonna get me banana. I don't want my banana to break up. I like my banana whole. So that is beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So yam. Beautiful. I like bananas, so I'm gonna be loading my plate. Wheat bananas. I'm gonna get in there. Look at that, guys. Amazing. Look how beautiful that is. This food right here used to be, we used to get bullied for this food in Grenada growing up as a boy. They used to say that's poor people food. Now, when people travel and they go back to Grenada, they crave for this food. They crave for this food. I'm craving for it right now. Right now. So beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna confirm if it tastes good or not. Oh my gosh. Confirm. Banana is nice and soft. Saltfish is not salted. Very good. Dumpling. Hey. Backside. What was I thinking?
You dipped it in the sausage.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. And while I make you guys more water, I'm gonna eat. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Peace. And as always, see color.